Hi everyone, this is Chris. You probably better know me as Rush Classic. You've seen me post around the forums forever. I decided I'm going to try my hand at doing this whole draft record thingy. I've never done a draft record before, but I play every day and I watch videos every day, so I figured why not try and do one. I'm going to go ahead and do a vintage cube draft today. As you can see, I already got 4 trophies already. I've had a pretty rough time in this season so far. And you can see Benny here's got 31 trophies. According to his YouTube videos, he had a streak of about 7 or 8 that he went undefeated, so that was kind of cool to watch. But yeah, let's just hop in and see what we can do. Oh, it looks like we're hopping right in. No waiting at all. Alright, let's see what we got. Well, right away cards I like, Volcanic Island, Yawgmoth's Will. I'm a big fan of taking Yawgmoth's Will early. I love playing the Storm decks like pretty much every other drafter out there. My favorite card in the cube is Fast Spawn, so I will bend towards Fast Spawn things like Crucible of Worlds. I'll take a little bit earlier than other people would. But yeah, really, I think it's between Volcanic, Yawgmoth's Will, and maybe Opposition. I actually haven't drafted an Opposition deck in this rendition of the Vintage Cube yet, so might try doing that. But I am a huge fan of just taking lands early and seeing what happens, so let's just go ahead and take Volcanic. Especially if it leaves me open to taking fast spawn decks. I've had a lot of fun drafting fast spawn decks over the years, and I just find that they're both a good cross between fun and powerful, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Anyway, I am a big fan of taking Tolarian Academy early. I know a lot of people like to wait until they are firmly in the artifact deck before they take this card, but I think it's too powerful to wait for. I'd rather just take it early and then prioritize artifacts along the way. Other cards I would look at here, not a big fan of taking things like Elspeth early on. It's just kind of big, dorky, slow playing magic. That's not what I'm looking for in Vintage Cube. I do highly respect Thalia. I think that she's really good and can stop a lot of the crazier strategies in this format. I'm always good with taking a tutor like Vamp. It's always good to have something like that. 2-card combos do sort of rule Vintage Cube at times, but I'm just going to take Tolarian Academy here and start with 2 lands. I am not as big a fan of Jace as other people are. I know that everyone thinks that this is just the best Planeswalker in the world, and I get it. I love it with Oracle, Moldiah, and other things like that. But otherwise, it's just not my style of card. I think it's kind of slow and derpy in the vintage format. I'd much rather go with something that'll get me quick wins. In that respect, I think Gristlebrand is absolutely broken, and my favorite decks to draft might be the Reanimator Storm decks, where you just turbo out Gristlebrand, draw your entire library, and win the game. So I might be taking that. I do have Academy, so I might be taking Basalt Monolith instead. Again, with that whole slow control stuff, I'm not a big fan of Cryptic. I know it's a great card, but it's just not my style. So I'm probably taking Basalt or Gristlebrand here, and since I already took Academy, I'll just take Basalt Monolith. With this start, I do have an in towards playing a Storm deck. It might be better just to take like a Blood Crypt instead for that, because lands are very important to getting your mana base right, and if Storm is open, then Brain Freeze should table. But there's not a lot of incentive to necessarily do that, especially if I can go artifacts and I don't 100% need to have a Blood Crypt. So I might just take Brain Freeze. Kozilek's nice, but if I'm drafting artifacts, I'd rather have some of the bigger artifact payoffs than the Eldrazi. They're fine, but not necessarily what I want. I'm not going green yet, so Natural Order doesn't seem right. Marsh Flats could be a good one too, but I think it's between Brain Freeze and Blood Crypt for me, so I'm just going to take Brain Freeze. I don't mind drafting an early Storm win condition. I wish that Bazaar of Baghdad was better in the cube. It's really good for a Reanimator, but I kind of wish they had more of the Vengevine style decks. Something closer to an Aristocrats deck would be fun to have. It's just, a unique strategy that is, part aggro, part Reanimator, and a lot of fun, but you never get to draft it really. I think I want to stick to the artifact theme here. Hangerback Walker looks good, so does Karn. Academy Ruins I've never really liked that much. It's great with Mindslaver, obviously, but that's about the only combo. Hangerback tables a lot, so I'm just going to take Karn here, and maybe we can draft a little more of an aggressive artifact deck. Okay, so I am a big fan of Skull Clamp. I know a lot of people think that it's sort of a dorky card, but I think it's one of the best ways to get card advantage in these decks that are using a lot of little utility creatures. Great with Lingering Souls, great with something like the Duretti that makes the 1/1 counters. That said, I think that Oko is just great in artifact decks, and obviously it's just broken in other places. This is my favorite Planeswalker right now as far as how powerful it is. And I really like the idea of the green-blue artifact decks because they've got a lot of these creatures that make artifact tokens. This and Tireless Tracker is a really good one. So we're just going to take Oko here. Now we got a bunch of nothing. There is that natural order. I don't think it'll come around, and it's not like I can really bend that way that easily to get Progenitus. Primal Command's kind of good, or at least it's acceptable. I might just take Flame Slash so I have some interaction. I have a bad habit of not drafting enough interaction when I do these decks. So yeah, let's just take Flame Slash. I don't think I want Liliana. It's a little too big, and I don't have creatures yet. Pack Rat's an okay one. Vindicate's just kind of a whole bunch of other colors. At least we already have a red splash. So let's just take Flame Slash so we have some interaction. Well, I did mention Duretti already, but Skull Clamp is already going around. It might not come back. Stomping Ground would be a good one to have, just so we have more, fixing. I like Phyrexian Revoker, and I really do love Stoneforge in artifact decks, but I don't know if this is going to be the right deck for that. I think I'm just going to take the fixing for now. Okay, let's see. Crucible, I am, again, going in the artifact route, and I do love me a fast spawn deck, and people don't draft fast spawn that high, so I could easily grab it. Otherwise, we're taking Baleful Strix, which is good if the Skull Clan comes back around, and is just generally good in artifact decks, but that is adding an extra color. Brazen Borrower is a card that gets me a lot, and yet I don't like to play it, so it's one of those things where I'll be damned if I do, damned if I don't. Turnabout would be good if we went Storm, but I think we're leaning away from Storm. Let's just take Crucible, because, again, I love it. I love those decks. Edric's a good card. Edric gets you a ton of cards as long as you have tiny creatures, and we don't yet, but, I don't know what else I'd be taking here. Vamp would be good if we were going more combo-y, and we could be assembling some combos with, Crucible Worlds in the deck, but right now it just kind of looks like we're an aggressive deck. I'm actually going to take Beast Within, because we have Oko already, and Beast Within and Oko are really good with Oath of Druids. So if we do find an Oath of Druids, we can lean that way, especially since I don't have any creatures yet. We are playing Artifacts, so Duretti's probably the way to go. Sword of Fire and Ice is really good. I don't have any creatures, though. Might not be the creature-oriented artifact deck, so let's just take Duretti. Relic is an artifact for Academy, but Overgrown Tomb's just fixing if we end up needing black. I don't always have black in these kind of decks. I'll just take Relic for now. Let's snatch up a Bazaar, because Bazaar is powerful at least. And, Exhum's really good. I haven't found a deck that I really like Fiend Artisan in yet. It's just slow. This would be a cool candidate for the Bazaar deck, though. But, so would Exhum, so we'll just take Exhum. And suddenly we have a Reanimator deck in our sideboard. Okay. Here are some sweet cards. So I'm a big fan of Time Twister. We're not going to take it here because we have 2 excellent artifact cards, but I just wanted to talk about the fact that Time Twister, I know that it's really hit or miss, and sometimes you see it in decks that it doesn't belong in, but almost all the decks I draft can really use a Time Twister. I mean, if we have Academy here, can make a ton of mana. It might just be, you know, the Snoochie Boochies. But I mean, nothing else here is really all that close to Urza and Workshop. For Workshop, I do have Monolith and Crucible so far, so those are really good combos with it. It does table more often than Urza does. I don't know if it'll table here. I mean, let's see. Cradle's gonna be gone. Time Twister's gonna be gone. Chandra should be gone. It's 1, 2, 3. Signet should be gone. Temple Garden might be gone, although people don't play green-white too often. Workshop's just so broken, though. I'm going to take Urza. Mostly because I don't have a lot to do with Workshop just yet, and sometimes you don't get that much in these artifact decks. This is the wrong pick if I do end up going Oath, but it's not like Workshop helps Oath anyway. Here, I mean, I have respect for Wrenn and 6. I've had some good decks with it. It's not as good as Crucible or Ramanap Excavator, but it's not a bad one. Snappy's obviously great in decks where you have a lot of spells. We don't yet. I think this is just a clear Izzet Signet. Fixes my mana, gives me another artifact for Tolarian Academy. It's the best of all worlds. I am a fan of Winter Orb. It doesn't always work in this format like it would in Legacy because there's so much extra mana floating around. But we do have the awesome combo with Urza where we can just shut it off whenever we want. So hopefully it tables. And at this point, I'm just going to take out Brain Freeze. We might still play it, but it's looking kind of doubtful here. Let's see this pack. Well, I love Oracle and Muldiah. It's a good combo with Crucible. We don't have any fetch lands yet or any other ways to get lands in our graveyard. I am a little more willing to play Bazaar in decks that have Crucible. Sometimes you can just dump a bunch of lands and then play them out of your graveyard. But it is still sort of a niche case. I do like Emery. What do we have to go with Emery? I mean, Relic's kind of a nombo with Emery. But it is good with Crucible. Just toss some lands in the yard. There's nothing really I want to buy back yet. But Oracle, I already have a bunch of 4s. It doesn't necessarily go with the whole theme, the artifact theme. Could just take a Signet. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to take a Signet. Maybe Emery will come back around. But I have a lot of 4s, so we might as well have ways to ramp into those 4s. Here, I love it if I can put Linval into a main deck. Just the green decks are annoying, and if you just shut them down from the get-go, it's hilarious. Bloodstained Mire gets both Volcanic and Stomping Ground, so that's probably the card we're taking. I've never found a deck that Treasure Cruise is good in. It's probably good with Bazaar, though, so that's always an option. Finding ways to make Bazaar good is pretty cool. I am a fan of putting Ancient Grudge in the main deck. You just have to be proactive about sideboarding it out when it comes to that. But let's just take Bloodstain. Emrakul, always a dangerous card, always worth looking at if you get a chance. Another thing to mention about this deck, we already saw Luca, so I'm obviously not going to get it, but I do actually really like Luca in these sort of creature-light decks where you can make creatures with Oko or Karn. You just make a creature and then Luca all the way into Emrakul. Those are pretty cool. Here, Tezzeret looks good because we are trying to force this artifact theme. Mind Twist, we did just pick up a way to splash black both in Rakdos Signet and Bloodstained Mire, and we are going to get some quick mana, so this could be pretty good. There's nothing great I want to hunt out with Tezzeret, and we already have... It'll wheel. Tezzeret almost always wheels, so I'll just take Mind Twist for now. Here, I mean, him is not quite Mind Twist. It costs too much black mana. Black's going to be a splash, if anything, at this point. Sword's good, of course, but we don't have creatures, so probably don't want to play it. Incinerate is better when you're actually have a chance of burning them to the face. That's why I don't mind having a Flame Slash in this deck, because I'm not going to kill them through increments of damage. I'm going to use this just on creatures. So I probably don't want to Incinerate. Probably just take like a Spire Bluff Canal then. Frost Titan's a cool creature to have a top end as, but I'd rather go bigger than that. Yeah, we'll just take Spire Bluff for now. Oh, Lodestone Golem is tailor-made for the artifact decks. Oh, but so is Coercive Portal. I didn't see that. What do we have for card advantage? We have Karn, Urza, Duretti, sort of. So we don't have like a lack of card advantage, so we might not need Coercive Portal. Lodestone, it's just another turn 3 play off of a Signet. If we wheel Workshop, then it'll be really good. Other cards, Abrade's one of the best removal spells in the format because of its versatility. Narset, Narset's really mean at times, but I don't think I need it here. I think I just want the Lodestone Golem. Well, I told you from the get-go that I'm absolutely in love with Fast Spawn. I don't have all the right cards to play it yet. I only have a Crucible with a Bloodstained Mire. I have Bazaar, which can dump a bunch of lands, and then with Crucible bring it out, but that's kind of niche. I mean, otherwise I could take a Walking Ballista, which is a really good card. I'm so in love with Fast Spawn that I'll try to make it work somehow. So I'm just going to take it. And Workshop came around. You gotta love it when Workshop comes around. That means that you're doing something right. I only have the 6 artifacts so far for it, but we'll put a little more emphasis on grabbing those now. Oh, and Winter Orb came around. Love me a Winter Orb. Kind of a nombo with Fast Bond, but we'll figure out how to do it. Urza will help us get there. So right now I don't really have a way to win other than trying to control them with Oko and Karn, but I mean that could be enough. People really like to concede once things go south. Let's see, Pia and Kirnalar obviously has some synergies in artifact decks. You can just put out a bunch of artifacts. I don't have a lot of removal though, so I'm thinking maybe just taking Maelstrom. I also don't know how much red I'm going to be in this deck, so yeah, we'll take the Maelstrom Pulse for now. I'm not going to play any of these cards. Buried Alive is probably the most likely one since we do have some Reanimator stuff in the sideboard. I don't like Char when you're not going for the face. And I don't think we'll play white, so yeah, let's just take Buried Alive. Well, I'm not going to play Kodaltha Forge Master just yet, but it definitely could get in there if we find a big artifact. Angrass Rampage is an okay removal spell, but I think I'm just going to take the big boy and throw him in the sideboard for now. Yeah, I'm not going to play either of these. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll play Siege Gang in a deck that isn't really a Siege Gang deck. Alright, what do we got here? Well, Worn Power Stone is, just the best general artifact card. It's great off of a Workshop, but I don't have much I'm ramping into at the moment. I mean, my curve stops at 4, kind of. Still might be nice. You can get the same general effect from Everflowing Chalice, except that you get the benefit of being able to play this on turn 2, and the benefit of being able to go big, so Everflowing Chalice might just be better than Worn Power Stone. I mean, the real benefit of Power Stone is that you can play it off of a first turn Workshop. I don't actually know which one I want. I mean, this has other benefits, I guess. You can play it for 0 to pump up your Academy if you just want to go quickly. Although I doubt that would ever happen to me. I think I'll just take the Chalice. I've seen Worn Power Stone table a lot too, especially if people aren't in the artifact decks. Thran Dynamo, on the other hand, is a much bigger boy, and we don't need too many big things before this becomes an absolutely stellar play. Other considerations, no. Control Magic, it's a fine removal spell. I don't have a lot of removal spell, but Oko kind of takes care of everything. Got Pulse and I got Flame Slash, so I don't worry too much about that. Miscalc is some good like early interaction, but one of the problems with the counter spells in a deck like this is that you do so much early ramping that you're tapped out on your own turn. At least this one you can cycle away though. But I think I am just going to take Thran Dynamo, especially with Workshop in the deck. It's just going to make us go so quickly. Do need to find some big payoffs. And Ugin's a big payoff. I'm not the biggest Ugin fan in the world. You might notice that I'm not a big fan of Planeswalkers. I just find they don't always mesh with strategies that I play. But we're a ramp deck that's looking for a colorless payoff, and Ugin's a colorless payoff, so that might be the way to go. There's also Golos. Golos is a great payoff for a multicolored deck. Do I have incidental colors? I have Rakdos Signet. Is it Signet? So I don't have a white source yet, but we can easily pick one up. White dual lands are probably the worst dual lands in the entire set, so that makes sense. It's probably one of these two. I would still rather have an artifact payoff so I can get Forge Master in the deck. But Ugin is kind of like the payoff. I'm still going to take Golos. I really do like Golos. It's just a fun card. Here, Batterskull is a fine one. I lost an amazing game using Batterskull last week where I was up against a mono red deck and I attacked with Batterskull probably 10 times and still lost. It was demoralizing. But here, I like Misty. Big fan of fixing, and it kind of fixes for almost everything we have. Treachery is obviously really good. We don't have much that we can combo with Treachery as far as getting to abuse the mana untapping. I mean, we could then like activate a Golos or just play something else big. I think I'd rather just make sure I have my mana set, since I don't have a lot of different fixing, but I do have a lot of different colors I want to play. So we'll just grab Misty. Well, here it's between Mindslaver, Ulamog, and Metalworker, with some other good cards. I'm a big fan of Sphinx's Rev. Reclamation Sage is nice, but problem with taking Metalworker right now, one, it might table, but two, I don't have a big artifact to ramp into yet, so I kind of don't want to take that. I'd rather do a Mindslaver or an Ulamog. I do have Duretti, so Duretti Mindslaver is a good combo. That might be the way to go. Again, I do like the big colorless ramp targets for things like this, but I'd much rather it be an artifact, so things like Metalworker and Kodotha Forge Master can work. So we're going to look for like a Battle Ball or Colossus, one of those big things. Ooh, okay, so if I played Oath, well, first of all, I don't have a big thing to Oath into. Second, what would I have to take out? Lodestone, Urza, and Golos? That might be too much at this point. Sphinx of the Stillwind is a good big artifact, but it is not one I can naturally cast, so that might not be the answer either. That's kind of tough. I might just take Wooded Foothills here. Or I could take Burning of Zhengyi. I don't have a lot of creatures. I have a lot of ramp. It's great with Crucible. Yeah, let's just take Burning. I take a lot of lands. I take lands too highly sometimes. Sundering Titan. Okay, finally we have a big payoff that I really like. So let's just toss that in the deck and just move on with our lives. Let's see. Mizzy Mortars is a nice removal spell. Play it early, play it late. Vraska's not bad. I don't even know. I think we're still going to play Black for Mind Twist, but with Sundering Titan, that seems a little less exciting. not really color committed at all. I have Oko, I have Fast Bond, and I might not play Fast Bond. I don't know if I have the support for it. Rakdos' Return is also interesting. I guess I'll take Mizzy Mortar so I have more interaction early. Let's see, Lightning Bolt. Same with Incinerate. I'm a little less of a fan of Lightning Bolt when the chances of me pointing it at their face is not big. But it is so efficient that I might still take it. Grim Lavamancer, I don't think we're going to put a lot of things in the graveyard. We're mostly permanents. Entomb, we're not really doing that. And Yawgmoth, I don't have a lot to sacrifice, so let's just take a Lightning Bolt, throw it on the side. Here, can't play Nicol Bolas, can't play Massacre Worm. I guess Den Protector might be the most likely to get in the deck. Or Dire Fleet Daredevil. Probably Dire Fleet Daredevil. If your opponent ever has Ancestral or Time Walk, this is an easy one to bring in sometimes. Here, I'm not going to show and tell for just a Sunring Titan. We don't have enough creatures for survival, not enough mountains for Fire Blast. I guess I'll take Avalanche Riders. Oh, we could probably put Kuldotha Forge Master in now. I have enough artifacts, and both Mindslaver and Sunring Titan are really good to go get. Here, mana cost's too big for Dark Confidant. We're not playing white. We're not aggro, and we're not Reanimator, but I'll take that anyway. Now I'll probably play Metalworker. I have enough, and Mindslaver is a 10 mana play, so it should be pretty good. And I'll take Oath too, because I do have the deck for it. And we'll take on Burial Rites. So, I do have enough things to make Oath good, so I might try to get Oath in this deck, but problem with that is that I drafted a few too many good creatures to make it something I want to do. But I think we should at least look at an Oath deck. Maybe not, because we'd only be getting Sundering Titan. And, I mean, it's not even the best thing to Oath into, and once you do, if it dies, then what are you going to do? Oath into nothing? And I hate having just one target in an Oath deck. I hate having just two targets in an Oath deck. It makes it very risky. Alright, well, let's see what may or may not want to be in the deck. Fast Spawn is, yeah, actually, I'm going to separate it like this. Everything down here are things that we're pretty sure we want in the deck. Everything up here might be subject to being removed. So I don't know if we want Fast Spawn. Might not play black for Maelstrom Pulse. No, those all look good. Those all look good. Yeah, so I mean, these are the only two cards I'm not sure of, and other cards that look interesting are Lightning Bolt. Mizzy Mortars is good. I don't think we could play Brain Freeze in this deck. We don't have any combos really with it. I don't want to Exhume. Not going to Bury It Alive. Don't really care too much to Beast Within unless I have Oath. God, I'm really upset that I got Oath so late. I could have had a great Oath deck. We have very few creatures. We have Oko and we have Beast Within. But I mean, I can't Oath into Kuldotha Forge Master. I mean, the cards I'd have to take out of that. I don't think I would necessarily want this. Probably don't want Metalworker to Oath into. I think it would be okay Oathing into Golos because it's just such a strong card afterward, but it's also not that great if you're Oathing into it on turn 3. So yeah, I don't think we can play Oath. I do like Maelstrom Pulse. There's plenty of mass token makers in the format that this can just destroy, and it's good having an answer to just anything. So I think we'll keep that. And then if Fast Spawn doesn't work, we'll probably put in one of those. And then we'll see if we can go to 16 land. I am a fan of playing less land than normal, especially if you have some good lands like Workshop and Academy. So what works with Fast Spawn here? Let's see. Crucible does. Already in conjunction with Crucible, but kind of not really. I mean, Urza if you wheel into some lands, Golos if you wheel into some lands. So not a whole lot actually. So unfortunately I'm not going to play Fast Spawn, even though it's my favorite card in the entire cube. That sucks. Oh well, let's go ahead and bring these back up, and yeah, okay, so that's there, that's there. Probably play that on 4 or 5 most. I've got a lot of ramps, so I can bring in Mizzy Mortars definitely, and maybe Lightning Bolts. I don't want too much burn. You get all these removal spells and you go up against a deck that have small creatures at all, and suddenly you just feel like a jackass. So, kind of don't want those. I don't love bringing in Dire Fleet for the main deck because, I mean, it's good when it's good, and when it's not, it's really not. And as you can tell, we are not an aggro deck. I mean, how am I winning this game? I'm winning it with Sundering Titan, Mindslaver, and then maybe just artifact tokens or something. Maybe just carning them out. So I guess Siege Gang is also a card I could bring in then, just because it's powerful on its own. It kind of can do the whole winning thing on its own. Oh man, I could also just play 17 land. I mean, we do have things we want to ramp into. My problem with playing 17 land is that I don't have a lot of card draw. When we have Golos, we have Urza, we have Karn, we have Daretti. And those are going to be the ones that get us there, but otherwise, I don't think that's... we have enough card draw to make it. It's the same reason that I'm not playing Fast Spawn, because I don't have the card draw to get enough lands to play them all out. I wonder if I even want to play Crucible now. I mean, I'm playing it because I have all these artifacts and stuff, but I don't know if I have much to combine it with. How many fetches did I pick up? 2? Oh, that's not bad. And Daretti tosses some things in the yard. In burning. Okay, I think these things make it good enough, especially if we're trying to support Academy and Workshop. I guess I could also consider playing Bazaar as my last card as well. Because Bazaar with Crucible is just a pretty strong combo. It's an okay combo. It's better if you have Fast Bond. Might be talking myself into playing Fast Bond just because I want to, in which case I should probably take out Mortars or Flame Slash. Could also take out Relic. I mean, it's a... when you snipe somebody, it's really good, and it is an artifact, so it helps support Academy. But it might not be necessary. I mean, I have so many like mass artifact support that I think I should play it. Karn, Urza, Daretti. Yeah, I'm gonna play Relic. I'm not gonna take that out. But I could consider taking one of these out and going for the stupid Fast Spawn Bazaar combo. Because I'm going to move down to 16 lands, not counting Bazaar. I mean, this is just so bad, right? I guess it also combos for Daretti. You just toss one of these in the yard and then Bazaar it, or Bazaar it into the yard and then Daretti it out. I don't have anything else like that, though. I just know I'm going to regret playing Fast Spawn unless I get this combo. Just Crucible plus a fetch land or something else. Do I have ways to fetch Crucible? Just Kuldotha Forge Master? It's not a really good way to do it. Oh, boy. It's usually not that hard to pick a last card, but I guess since this is my first recording, I'm just struggling with it a bit. I mean, how how much interaction do I have? How much removal do I have? I have these two. I have Oko. I have Maelstrom Pulse. I have Burning. Yeah, let's just stick with this. This has to be the wrong play. It's so kitschy and it's not even a great combo. So yeah, I'll just stick with this. And then for my last card, I will add... I mean, I hate playing Beast Within without Oath. It just doesn't feel like there's any point to it. Maybe I'll just play Lightning Bolt. I mean, it can't be that wrong to play Lightning Bolt, and then I could just side into something else if I need it. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. Let's check out the mana now. So I've got two fetchable lands. And they both get both of them, so that's nice. See what our sources need to be. Let's go ahead and combine groups real quick. They never quite give you enough screen space to do everything you want to do. Okay, let's bring all this down here now. So yeah, I barely have anything. I'm mostly a red deck because of all those burn spells I just put in. Yeah, that means I barely need any sources. I also have, is it Signet here? Rakdos Signet, so what, I want one swamp. Two green cards. I've got 1, 2, 3, so maybe like one forest. Yeah, thankfully the color requirements aren't all that strong for this deck. But 2 blue cards. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue sources. I mean, I don't even need one really. 5 red cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red sources. Oh man. So yeah, I have like no color requirements at all. Well, that kind of makes me want to put in something heavier than like maybe a Siege Gang Commander, because I can support that double cost a lot easier. Or maybe a Liliana. Not that I have a lot of cards to reanimate myself. The milling's pretty good on Liliana though, because it does help with Crucible. So maybe I just want another Planeswalker like that. Yeah, so let's take out Lightning Bolt and bring in Liliana. I think that we will add 2 more swamps and 1 of everything else. Yeah, call it a day. Alright, there's the deck. I'll see you all in play. Hello again. Just moved rooms, turned on the fan because it's getting kind of hot here. I reworked the mana base a little bit. I forgot that I had Golos in the deck and that I didn't have a white source, so we added a Plains. And I changed some of the other mana distribution because it didn't look like I actually had the right amount. Not that I need a lot of colors because I'm basically not playing anything but colorless cards, but I got rid of a few mountains and an island and added a few more black sources to make Liliana a little more reliable to cast. Alright, let's head into game 1. Alright, we're here for game 1. We're on the play against Belvemont. Well, this is exactly the kind of hand you want from a workshop deck. A lot of cards you could play quickly. Second turn, Lodestone should do wonders. Probably to start with a mountain so they don't know that I'm a workshop deck yet, and just throw out Relic. Followed out with Lodestone. Possibly turn 3 put off the Forge Master. Let's figure out what they're playing. I don't think I've played this person before. There's a good chance I have. I play all the time, so who knows, but might be going up against a white weenie deck here. White Wing's not the best card for Lodestone to go out against, but should make for some hard times against them unless they've got a path or swords right away. Oh, lucky them. Playing artifacts too. Well, that's fortunate because we can just play out a Forge Master right away. I don't anticipate sacking away Lodestone to go get Sundering Titan. I mean, maybe if they play a few more lands here, I'll do it. But I probably just want to wait until I can get out a Karnstruct. That way I don't have to get rid of Lodestone, which is probably doing a lot of work here, unless they're just going to keep playing artifacts. Oh, well. I guess we don't get the choice. Let's go ahead and get rid of that Judgment. Now we're just looking to draw action. I might just cycle away this Relic if we don't draw anything good. I think that qualifies as nothing good, so let's just go ahead and do that. Oh, Signet's not bad. I don't think I need to pulse their Signet, so let's just go ahead and play our own and swing away. I watched back to the draft video already just to kind of see how all the recording went, and I kind of think that I would have rather had the what is it, Coercive Portal over Lodestone, considering how my deck turned out. It's a bit more controlling than I thought it would be. Would have been nice to have that constant card flow. I don't know if I need to get rid of Bitter Blossom. And yeah, I'm not going to because we have Karn, so we might as well just play Karn. Go ahead and attack first. Like, yeah, it's going to be annoying that they get to chump block every single turn, but I mean, they're only going to be at 5 alive, so it's not like Bitter Blossom can stay out for long and do much. And here, since they're at such a low life total, I might just make a token. Yeah, I think I should just make a token, because I doubt they'll be able to punish me for doing so. I mean, they might play like Wrath or something, which would be a little punishing, but it won't kill my Karn, and I'll be able to just start drawing after that. The chances that they play a Wrath and a way to get rid of Karn are pretty minimal. But this gives them even less turns to really mess around, so we'll see. I guess the other reason not to pulse Bitter Blossom is that I could always just pulse all the tokens if I ever want to. Like here, I'm just going to get rid of this fairy token, and then game will be over. Yeah, there's no reason to Oko, so let's just get rid of the fairy token, attack them, and they can die their own Bitter Blossom. Too bad I didn't have a way to just play Oko too. I could have killed him right now. Actually, I didn't even think about it. I could have just flame slashed the token, huh? Whoops. Well, you live and you learn. So this is my first time recording, as I said in the draft video, and it's kind of hard to concentrate when you're doing this. I was so focused on talking about Maelstrom Pulse that I didn't even bother to think about what Flame Slash could do. At least I still won. So they're playing a control deck sort of like ours, but it seems like it's probably a little bit slower unless they have some Moxes and stuff they didn't draw. That means I don't necessarily need the red removal spells all that much. And in fact, if they have Planeswalkers, Lightning Bolt might be better than Flame Slash. Just in case we are able to just bolt it out of the sky. Could bring in Siege Gang too, because it's an army in a can. That way we can kind of take out a bunch of Bitter Blossom tokens if we need to. For that reason, I probably want to keep it Mizzy Mortars as well. I don't really see anything else we can do as far as sideboarding goes, other than those two. It's not like I want to bring an Oath or anything. I might bring an Oath against a deck that has a ton of creatures anyway, just as a way to kind of catch back up. But here, yeah, let's switch out Flame Slash for Siege Gang, because again, they didn't have a lot of creatures right away, so Flame Slash isn't necessarily going to be good. And Siege Gang can at least put on a clock and take out a bunch of things all at once. Look at this giant army of colorless cards I have. Arranging by color is not the best way to look at this deck, that's for sure. Alright, here for game 2. This is a pretty quick Urza. I guess not that quick of an Urza, it's just a turn 3 Urza, but it seems like enough action we can try it. And if we draw anything massive, then I have a ton of mana just waiting here. I've been drafting this about 2-3 times a day for this format. And early on, I just got hit over the head with all sorts of bad luck and some bad decks. But this deck looks better than those, so hopefully we get a good result with this. Alright, Signet for Signet. Ooh, Golos was a good draw. Yeah, now if we can just find a green source and go fetch out our 1 plains, then we'll have a really nice looking curve here. I mean, they're holding up counter mana, but I mean, I'm not going to shy away from playing an Urza here. If it sticks, then it's good. If not, we'll follow it up with Golos, and maybe that'll be good enough. And if not that, then at least we'll have a lot of mana. I do hope Urza gets to stay, though, because he will be a beating. Even if Urza doesn't get to stay, if they like have a removal spell instead of a counter spell, that Karn token is going to be huge after a while. I mean, it's going to be a 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, 5/5 here in a couple turns. So if they don't have a counter spell, it's really good for me. But I mean, they're thinking their hardest, so I mean, I don't know what they're thinking about. If you have a counter spell, you definitely nug Urza right out of the sky. Well, that's really good for us because we'll be able to Golos next turn and activate the turn after that without any problems, unless they play some sort of board wipe or some other removal spell. But no, they're just doing signets. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just go ahead and play Golos right now. Well, let's tap our signets, right? Every time. I really wish they would bring in the talismans instead. I know that, you know, the life cost is a little prohibitive for some decks, but I mean, this is vintage cube. No one's losing off a couple points of life unless they're going against the red deck, and they're just so much better for tapping. The number of times I've tapped signets wrong in my life is unbelievable, and I'm sure everybody else feels the same way. And now that Horizons came out and gave us all the talismans, they should just switch it already. I don't know why they're dragging their feet on that. I also don't know why my opponent's dragging their feet either. But if they want to take their time, they can take their time. I think I'm just going to attack here with the construct instead of casting Everflowing Chalice. I just don't think I really need the Chalice. I already have 6 mana out here. I'll be able to Golos next turn. And I'd rather wait to play a really big Chalice anyway. That way we can go crazy with Urza if necessary. But this is the big turn here, because they could have a Wrath. They seem sort of like a control deck. There's a chance I shouldn't have played Golos, but... well, if you're dismembering, then I'm not that worried. Okay, so since Golos is gone then, now next turn I might use the construct to play an Everflowing Chalice. That way I can go Chalice into Basalt Monolith and have a nice big board of mana waiting for me. And I'm not too concerned about killing Elspeth right away either. Ooh, Metalworker. I mean, Metalworker's nice, but it's kind of slow compared to what I want to do. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather just... I mean, I could play it off the Basalt Monolith, I guess. And that's 8, so let's see. Do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pop that for 8. I mean, that's going to make Urza just go off, so I think that's probably the best way to go. I don't know actually which one to cast here between Metalworker and Basalt Monolith. I don't think I cast both, because if I play Metalworker, I kind of just want to leave Basalt Monolith in hand. But Basalt Monolith makes more mana. I think that I play Metalworker because the potential is higher. I could do the math here and try to figure it out, but it's not that important to me. Oh, crap. Well, a double F6, I could have attacked Elspeth at least with Urza, but that's fine. I do need to keep an eye out on this Needle Spires, because Needle Spires plus Elspeth is kind of crazy. I mean, just take the sky and they deal 10 damage. That's a 2-turn clock right there. But again, I'm in the boat where if Urza dies, then bad things will happen. But next turn I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 mana if I want it. If I draw an artifact, that's enough mana to Urza 3 times. So that could be really good. Of course, if they have Wrath, ooh, that's not that bad actually. I mean, I don't need either of those cards. And I'm going to get to run in with the construct here. God, Ready to get Golos back is pretty good. Does it put the land in play tapped? Yeah, it does. Could go get Academy. So let's go ahead and, yeah, let's play Ready. Because getting Golos is really good. Tap that. Let's get Golos. And yeah, we'll just get Academy here because that's going to be a lot of mana. And if they don't get rid of Urza, then Urza, again, will go off. I know I keep saying that as though, oh, I didn't even think about that. I can just use Golos right now. Okay, I'm bad at this game. I forgot that Golos has an ability. It's very much like Urza's, but somewhat better. Okay, well. Well, that worked out well. Well, I guess I'll see you guys in the next round. Hello again, back for round 2, playing against Phil Kill. Let's see what we got. Won the die roll. This is very slow hand. All it's got going really for it is Flame Slash. I like to aggressively mulligan in Vintage Cube, especially if you have a deck that can go fast. Of course, this is an even worse hand, so we're just going to mulligan again, unfortunately. I mean, this is better. Kind of. I'm definitely keeping it. I don't know what I'm keeping in it, though. I mean, might want to keep Mizzy Mortars just to have interaction. I might get rid of both artifacts, actually. I mean, they help us speed up, but to what? I mean, we have to draw well in order for them to do that. I mean, I need to draw an island for Urza even, so I don't know actually if that's any good. Gosh, that's tough. Well, let's bottom. Crap, I don't know. Yeah, let's bottom. I guess Basalt Monolith Swamp. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but that's what happens when you aggressively mulligan. I don't know what that first hand could have really done. I would have had to draw into a workshop or into a lot of my cheap cards, maybe some signets. It could have been okay to keep, but going in blind, I wasn't a big fan of it. Of course, that second hand sucked even worse, so. Maybe I shouldn't have kept Mortars. Maybe I should have been trying to play to a good Urza hand. Yeah, that's about the worst draw on my deck, so things are not looking good. If they play a creature that's kind of okay, something like I don't know, an Ophiomancer or something, some 2-drop that I don't have to kill, an Ooze or something, then I probably won't shoot it down and maybe play to see if I can get some bigger. Okay, well, our deck is betraying us. I guess that's fine. It's not like my mana's perfect, so. Well, they're on black-red with one artifact they've played, nothing else, so my instinct is that they're on Storm, and we're going to give them a ton of time, and then they're just going to beat us unless we're able to play this Mindslaver. I guess this will tell us right here. Ooh, Scarab God. That's not exactly a Storm card. At least we don't have anything to dig out with it. God, I am really regretting putting that Swamp on the bottom. I kept a Chalice in case we could go a little bit faster and to give my Urza a little more oomph once the Karn token came out, but yeah, it's turning out that was a bad decision. I mean, I couldn't have known, but maybe just having more mana sources or rather more colors was a better, safer keep. I mean, we might be dead here in 2 turns or so. I don't exactly know what I need to draw to get out of this. Well, the old Duretti doesn't do anything, so that's good. Unless, you know, they dump something that's really good. Did I say Duretti does nothing? I meant that Duretti's going to put stuff that the Scarab God is going to eat and bash us over the head with. That's what I meant. But yeah, this is this is not the best first game. Entomb. Well, there's a lot of cards they could put in there that I'll just pack up for. Most things they can entomb I can't get rid of with this hand. Not even close. This does make me happy that I have Relic of Progenitus in the deck. Griselbrand. Shouldn't be that hard to figure out that you want Griselbrand. It is kind of the best reanimation target in the game. But if they took that long, it might mean that they've got a lot of different things that they can reanimate. That could be scary. Well, there's that. Reanimate on Griselbrand, not the best combo, but I don't exactly have a lot to say about it here anyway. I mean, I don't even know if I want to show the Mind Twist. Might do more harm than good. Yeah, I'm just going to pack it in. There's nothing I can draw, really. Well, that game went a lot less smoothly than the last round. Not sure what I can bring in. It doesn't look like they have a lot of cheap creatures, especially if they're going like straight Reanimator. So I'll probably take out Mortars. Take out Flame Slash too. Might not be good. Beast Within is actually looking okay now because I can nug one of their big guys. So I'll bring that in. Don't know if anything else is like bad against them. I think I'll keep Burning just because it's a good mana denial card and we might be able to just lock them out of doing things that way. I didn't see anything really to Dire Fleet. I mean, we could Dire Fleet Exhume or something, but or not Exhume, but Entomb or Reanimate. But I think that might be a little too slow to matter. I mean, Exhume's not good. Corpse Stance is only for us, although Corpse Stance Siege Gang is a good way to use a lot of mana. I might want that instead of Beast Within. Probably not. Did not think about that though, but Corpse Dance Siege Gang Commander is a funny little combo. It's the Stormwind condition of choice for 1 LSV. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might just bring in Siege Gang again. Just a hefty card that has a chance of winning the game on its own. Alright, I'll see you guys for game 2. Alright, we're back for game 2. On the play again, see if we have a better hand this time. Not a fast hand, but Oko can take care of a lot of different things, so I think we'll just keep this one. Probably Misty for Stomping Ground turn 1. I don't have any reason to keep the fetch lands just laying around. Go ahead and close the chat, I guess. Focus on you guys. That's another bad habit I have. I won't wait until the end of turn to use my fetches. Kind of believe in the equity of just being able to move through the turns. I grabbed Stomping Grounds when I have Oko in hand. I didn't even realize that until just now. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. I'm learning quickly that recording is hard. Well, thankfully we drew Bloodstained Mire, so we can correct our mistake, but holy crap, that was bad. And, I mean, is there any reason to lead on Basalt Monolith? If I lead on Basalt Monolith, I can go next turn, like, Oko Karn. But I could just go Oko Karn right now. It's kind of the same, except I get one extra activation of Oko here. Yeah, let's just do that. Wow, I can't believe that I just completely spewed like that, not grabbing Volcanic Island. Was happy that it wasn't a blunder after all is said and done. So, oh, by the way, this is why I just absolutely love Oko in the artifact decks. Like, normally it's just, the best planeswalker that's ever been printed, which is a nice status for it to have. But just spewing out all these food tokens will, like, make my constructs just that much better. I had this deck once. It was a blue-green deck that had both Gaia's Cradle and Tolarian Academy in it, and it was just sweet. I just had all these creatures like Gilded Goose and Tireless Tracker that made a bunch of different little artifacts. That's got the best of all worlds. Yeah, let's just aggro it up here with Oko. And then I'll follow it with Karn instead of Lodestone, because I think that the Karn tokens are going to get really big, really fast. So I just want to go into an aggressive stance here rather than trying to play the card advantage game. They might have a counterspell for Karn here, but again, not that big of a deal. I've got a lot of gas in my hand. Most of the time I play the card advantage game with Karn, but I mean, oh yeah, I always forget that this is no longer a artifact token, is it? Well, that's fine. Oko's still going to make a lot of artifacts, and I can still just lay a bunch of them out. Of course, if they bolt my Karn, then things are a little less good, but now I kind of wish I went for the card advantage. Let's see here. Well, there's no reason to turn the construct into an elk since I can just increase it in other ways. So let's just do that. They're definitely playing the control game, so I wonder if that means I'd rather have the Lodestone out. Not sure. I'm going to play Basalt Monolith either way. Hopefully they don't counter it. If they counter it, that kind of sucks, but I guess it's the same as if they counter one of these things. But I am going to use it right away just to increase my construct token. I just don't know if I want it on Chalice or on the Golem. Actually, I guess if I put it on... No. How do I cancel this? Okay. Let's just do Golem. Yeah, I just want to... This presents lethal next turn, so that's probably just a better way to go. I guess I could have just... No, this is still right, because it'll make it that much harder for them to play a removal spell or a series of spells that'll get rid of all my creatures. Then I can Oko up a food token next turn and have more than lethal. So even if they play a creature to block here, it's not going to be good. Like if they play Scarab God right now, they're just dead. Of course, if they play Toxic Deluge, that does make Lodestone Golem worse, but I mean, I still get to Oko up a food token and just get in there. God, Oko's so good. Like, I didn't even have any creatures or artifacts to attack with Oko this game, and he still is just winning the game by himself by creating an endless army of food tokens. Seems like that was probably a mistake to print that card, maybe, possibly. Yeah, that was definitely a reason that I could have done the Chalice last turn instead. But I just felt like being really aggressive. I mean, yeah, Scarab God. That's not going to do anything because Oko's the man. So now we just... Oh, Ugh. I tapped the wrong one. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I guess I'm just going to play Siege Gang. Yeah, I meant to create another elk for Oko to abuse, but I got Gideon misclicked. Well, hopefully they don't play some crazy series of cards that kills me. Siege Gang does give me a lot of range, so I think I'll be okay. I'm glad I took out all that tiny red removal. We still haven't seen anything worth bolting from the opponent. Man, I can't believe I did that. Wow, 2 huge blunders this game, and neither one of them is going to cost me. Well, gone through a little moment of freezing, so I'm guessing that means that the game's over. Alright, game's over. Moving on to game 3. Didn't see anything new, so I think we're just going to keep the same thing we have and move on. Alright, we're back for game 3. This hand looks awful. Sort of. I mean, Mind Twist is pretty good, but I don't have any way to speed it out. They're going to be going first, and they're playing a Reanimator deck, so I might hit the wrong cards. So I think I'm just going to mulligan this one. Well, this hand's not great. I mean, I like these 4 cards. These 3 artifacts are kind of all poopy, but yeah, I don't want to go down any more cards, so let's go ahead and keep this one. And it'll be a while before Mindslaver does anything, but I don't know if these 2 cards are going to do anything at all. So I guess Crucible is the hardest one to make work. Although it's the quickest way for us to get more advantage. If we find 1 fetch land, it'll help us get back in the game. Mindslaver is only going to be good in this hand if we draw some fast mana. Yeah, I guess I'll get rid of Mindslaver. It is something I can fetch out later if I need it as well. This is not a great hand. Hopefully they have a slow start. Or I can draw some faster mana, but Oko is powerful, so that might get us there. Maybe I should have mulliganed this one? I don't know. It's tough. Well, that's about the worst card I could have drawn. I guess I have a combo with Crucible now. Yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to win this game.
Yeah, I guess if one bad draw puts me that far behind, then maybe I should have mulliganed again. I mean, I saw Oko, so I felt like it was good. It's still okay if we draw the island to play Oko. And I suppose we could play Winter Orb on turn 2 to slow them down, but it's not like their deck really needs a lot of mana. All their reanimation spells probably cost between 1 and 3. I mean, if they reanimate Grave Titan right here, then Oko's not going to do anything anyway. Yeah, that's probably game. Yeah, I mean, I should have mulliganed again. Yeah, I can just go ahead and concede here. Well, that wasn't too successful. I guess I'll see you guys in round 3. Welcome back to round 3. I lost the die roll, and I have a hand that would have been okay to keep if I had another blue source, but considering that my deck is this big choppy mess of 4 colors, 5 colors I guess with this plains, I probably can't keep this hand. I mean, the only thing I'm working towards is Urza, and I can't even cast it, so I guess we're gonna mulligan. Yeah, this deck kind of came together a little sloppily, I will say. Well, this hand is abysmal, so let's go down to 5. I mean, this hand's not bad. I mean, I could just keep Urza and Oko, and as long as I draw one more land, Academy's going to look really good. So, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and keep this. Do I want to keep Urza over Lodestone? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be able to make Lodestone a fast card. And it's a lot better when it's cast on turns 2 or 3 than it is when it's cast on turn 4, especially on the draw. Whereas these cards can do a lot to help me come back from a slow start. Maybe not against White Weenie. Maybe not against Thalia. Oh man, Thalia is coming out strong against us, forcing our Oko to never get cast. Yeah, I need to draw. I don't know. I mean, a Signet's not going to do it. I'm going to be too slow for a Signet. And if they're playing like a green-white Hate Bears deck, then our deck might not be in it for long. Well, I'm definitely bringing in Lightning Bolt. I'm probably bringing in Oath of the Druids too. I guess at that point I could bring in Beast Within. Yeah, I haven't done it too often with Oath, but I mean, this is a deck that's going to put out a lot of little creatures. So an Oath, even if it's just getting us a Metal Worker, which I might take out, or if it's just getting us a Goleth or something, will be really good. And you know, as long as they keep playing little creatures, we'll just keep getting to Oath as well. So that's not bad. Urza's the only tricky part of that whole process, since Urza does create another creature. Well, Slow and Steady is going to have to win this race. At least Oko does a really good job of fighting against the enemy. Of course, Tristani's going to make that clock a lot faster, and we're probably just dead now. I mean, they attack for 5 here, and they attack for more than 5 next turn. Yeah, this this deck has been mulliganing not so well. I mean, it's not like the deck is super expensive or anything. It's mostly artifacts. There's only about 10 cards that have color in it. But I mean, even here, if I just slam play Oko, I'm not doing anything. I guess I could turn Tristani into... No. Mother Runes is going to get me. Yeah, let's just pack it in. Well, not a great showing from the multicolored Planeswalker artifact deck so far. And White Weenie doing what it does, beating up on a slow and unsuspecting opponent. Here, yeah, I definitely want to bring Oath. Definitely going to bring Lightning Bolts. Definitely bring in Beast Within, I think. Yeah, we'll bring in Beast Within. Don't need Relic anymore. Probably take out some higher end things. Liliana doesn't seem too good against them. It's just too slow. I like the tokens it makes, but otherwise it's just too slow. And I might take out Metalworker just because it's also slow. Well, not that it's slow, but that it's a bad hit off of Oath, whereas everything else I have is at least a fine hit. Sundering Titan, Golos, Kuldotha, Urza, and yeah, Golem. Those are all fine hits, whereas Metalworker's kind of bad. Unless I have something else that's obvious to take out, I guess Winter Orb's not good against them because they're going to be faster than me. Yeah, sure, change my mind. Taking out Winter Orb. Is anything else bad in here? Golem's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's fine. Yeah, that looks okay. Is there anything else I can bring in? I could bring in Direfleet Daredevil, just have another blocker early, but no, I think that's fine. Let's just submit that. Alright, we're back for game 2. Hopefully we have a playable hand here. Oh, well, I mean, this might be okay. First turn Metalworker, second turn Lodestone Golem. If I draw red or green and I have some, well, I guess not green. If I'm going first turn creature, second turn creature, Oath's not the greatest. But if we draw red, then we're doing okay. Yeah, I guess this is a keeper. Man, that's a tough hand. But I mean, a quick Lodestone Golem can really stall them out too, because they're just playing all creatures. So unless they have a Mox to make things go quicker, I can just go second turn Lodestone and they can't play Thalia until third turn. Everything just goes a little slower. And I mean, we have some good draws too, because Mountains, Artifacts, those are all good cards to draw. So let's just hope that this motley crew is good enough to get it done. Of course, if they go like first turn Swords to Plowshares, I might just be done. And look at that. Well, now we really need a mountain. Oh, man. Well, I enjoyed making this first video series. If they don't have a second turn play, then we still have a window of hope. Don't draw Academy. Oh, man. This is bad. Wow, they have not played a creature. I wonder what's going on over there. Well, with Duretti in our hand, I don't know if we are supposed to get rid of Sundering Titan or Maelstrom Pulse. I mean, I just think that even with Workshop out, Sundering Titan's a long ways away from getting cast, probably farther than the rest of these cards. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get rid of it, and of course we can get it back with Duretti if we are able to get there. I don't imagine we'll be able to get there, but they're playing the slowest white weenie draw I've ever seen. Don't be Hero Bladehold. Ugh. I feel like I'm making reasonable requests. Yeah, I'll just get rid of Beast Within here, because, I mean, it's the card that's gonna do the worst at keeping me alive. Oh, this was really unfortunate. But, I mean, it was useful getting to know the format of recording at least, so there's that. I always knew it would be harder than I thought it was. I mean, every single person that records says that. They've got their own Lodestone. Hey, look at that. I draw the one land that doesn't matter. Is it worth playing this? I mean, yeah, sure. I'll let them kill me. Let them have their fun. But yeah, every person that's ever recorded says it's hard to play and record at the same time. You make mistakes because you're focused on trying to keep the content up. So it was nice getting to at least experience that a bit. Funny enough, the one game that I was able to spot whatever blunders I made was the one game that I won in this last few games, last few matches. So, uh, I don't think this was such a bad keep. I mean, again, it was Metalworker into Lodestone Golem would have been a really, really good hand, especially with what they had. Not that I would have drawn well. I would have drawn Sundering Titan and Kadoth the Forge Master, so I could have at least cast the Forge Master. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of outs to some good draws. Like the Stomping Ground, for instance, could have been really good about 3 turns ago. Or more like 6 turns ago. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my first recorded content. Any feedback you want to leave, I'll be glad to hear. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll join you guys again with another vintage draft soon.